Had to forgive the mess a little bit. Pouring down rain outside, so I figured I would do a little seat review. Ultimate seat on the bike. Love it. Great seat. Me and the wife did do the relocate kit for the stock trunk, so you can see there's a nice size gap back there with the relocate kit that winds up being on there. Figured I'd get a few measurements for you. I know one of the things that I was looking around with this is how high I'm off the ground. I know, was it 26 and a half is where we're set normally or whatever on the bike. Trying to find something where I don't have to go so far over and up. For me right now, I'm having to throw my leg over the seat, and that extra little hump sitting up back there that my wife loves so much is a problem. Do have a couple of other seats sitting out to compare to. I got the heat cool seat from Indian. Another great seat, no problems there whatsoever. I had actually got this from a friend a couple years ago, used it half dozen times on the other bike, and then I just got this Saddleman low ride seat in, and cross stitched. I got a good deal on it. I'm gonna try it on the bike and see what it feels like the next couple days. Well, as soon as the rain dissipates, and see if I can't ride around with it on there a little better. This might not be the touring seat that I need. I might have to send it back, but you got 30 days to try it out. So we're gonna give it a shot. So get you a few measurements and see what we look like. So just to kind of give you a little better concept, from here to the bottom of this is 24 inches, to the top is 25, because this actually has a slope to it. That being said, again, going back to one of my issues is actually this extra that's coming up over the top. So kind of where that sits. So there's the ultimate seat. We'll put it over here with the rest to do a little comparison. All right, so again, going back, Indian heat and cool seat, climate control seat. Saddleman, got the exact number on this one. It's the 1206E. It's basically the smallest seat the Saddleman has for the Challenger. And then the ultimate seat, which again, great seat, great touring seat. As you can see across them right now, huge difference in their width. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them all to the front, middle. So if you see, this one's much further ahead. This just pushes you back further, and then that one is probably a little further ahead than the ultimate seat. So I would say, just by looks, the heat cool seat pushes you forward more. The Saddleman is much further back, and the ultimate seat sits you right in the middle. And that is the tall boy ultimate. It's not the regular. So I'm 6 foot, but I'm right at a 32, 33 inch inseam. So that's where that's at. So let's get some measurements. Just looking across. So front of the seat to the front of the, right here in the front is where I'm going to do my measurements. So I'm looking at 14 and a quarter. For here, I'm looking at 13 5/8. A little less than half, a little less than 13 and a half. And then from here is right at 12 inches. So yeah, I was definitely, looks were not deceiving. Definitely different. Let's go from bottom to the top of the seat. So again, going back to heated cool seat, I am right at 5 1/4 lower back support. Saddleman seat, right at 6. Let's do 6 1/2 lower back support, and probably 6 1/4 for the Saddleman. I mean, for the ultimate, 6 1/4 for the ultimate. Now the cool thing about the ultimate is you can't get a backrest for it. You also get a backrest for the heat cool. I'm not sure that you can order a backrest for these. I didn't actually see that as an option on there. Passenger seat, of course, like I said, there's measurements on there, but it'll do from the back of the passenger seat to the front. It's exactly 13 inches dead center. Back of the passenger seat on the Saddleman, dead front is 12.25. And for the heated cool seat, all the way to the back to the front is right at 13.25, give or take a little bit. Ultimate seat, side to side, at the widest point, 14.5. Fit, widest points, 8 inches for the Saddleman, and the widest point is right at 13. It's actually a little wider, but actually what your butt be sitting on would be right at 13 inches for passenger seat. So we kind of got some of those measurements again, just from the ultimate seat, Saddleman, and the heated cool. Now this is the extended reach Saddleman. So again, tall boy, which is basically their extended reach here, stock heated cool engine, because that didn't come any other options. But again, this is the heated and cooled, not just the heated seat. So that's the difference in that. So now I'll, since we got a few measurements off the bike, so I'll pull this off. We'll go ahead and do the heated cool, and then I'll do my new seat with the Saddleman and see how that works. All right, so of course, getting ready to put the heated cool seat on. I'm not going to plug everything up and everything because that's not what I'm ready to do yet. So I'm not going to put all of that on, but I will real shortly go ahead and put it on so you can see. We'll pop that seat on and get some measurements off it as well. All right, so you see bolt holes in the right spot, so I'm not doing any kind of funkiness. You still have the gap back here, just like you did before. I'll do the same measurements. I'll measure from the front right here all the way back to this, and kind of give you a measurement of where you sit, and then I'll go from the floor up and get that same measurement as I did on the ultimate seat. So. All right, the dash is same thing. At the top, I am at 24.75, and if I was doing front to the bottom, it's right at 23. So it's basically an inch. It'll push back or whatever. It is smaller or lower on the tank in the front, a little. Again, gap in the back to the advent back trunk. Again, gap in the back to the trunk, 17.75, and then getting lower to the ground, I'm at 28.5. I would say that's 28.5. So that's where that's at. Where my concerns is the back here. So I'm just gonna highball this, come to crop. I would say 33.5 is where that's at. There. Just looking at options. All right, so last option, putting on the bike, Saddleman. So wow, yeah, that holds the bike. I mean, that looks good. A good view before I start doing measurements here. So much different seating style and look on the bike. It's actually, I mean, I've got everything put in, as you can see, but you do have a gap right there that you didn't have on the other ones. Everything else, the gap back there pretty much looks the same. Man, that hugs that bike. If I was one-upping all the time just by looks, that would look great. Or if I definitely didn't use a tour pack, then that's a great looking seat. Now, rideability, I'm gonna have to tell you that later, but so we'll go back and get a couple measurements. Let's do the same thing we've been doing. Fronts to the top, 26.75. to the bottom. 25. All the way side. Same. Like I said, one of the biggest differences, man, it's literally it's a gap right here. Like it's kind of funny looking. It's a gap on there. Now, well, again, going back to my concern. So getting my foot over that. Up here, I'm at 20. I would say that's 27. And let's just say 28. It's close enough to 28. Now on the back side, again, eyeballing it again. Just straight up and down, just getting some rough estimate. I would say that is 33. So it would be fairly close. But definitely the width of getting it over. There's a couple things on there that I like. However, I don't know rideability, how long that seat I can keep on that seat, because cushion for the pushing be interesting. Again, I like the seat. I like the way it looks. It's definitely slimmer. Like I said, I mean, I do have an issue with that gap that's right there. I'm not used to seeing a gap that doesn't, in my mind, look good. And again, it ain't going further. Nope, it ain't going up no further. All right, kind of a quick review of these two seats. Had this seat on the Challenger. Probably got 1,000 or more miles on it. Heated cool, it works. The heat works, the cool works. I think any cooling on the seat is, I mean, it like I said, it works. You can feel it for a while, but basically to keep feeling it, you need to cut it back off and then cut it over a while later. However, the comfort of the seat's there. It's a great seat. Love it. Very comfortable with it. Actually sold one of these and kind of regretted. My buddy had one. I went back and got his, but I'd already got the Ultimate seat at the time. And truthfully, since I swapped out and put the Ultimate seat on, nothing else has been on the bike. All right, that being said, Ultimate seat, if I had to choose a seat right now, for me, Ultimate seat is the choice. As far as me and my wife, again, all you gotta do is buy a backrest. You don't have to pre-do it. You don't have to buy a special bracket or anything like you do with any of the Indian seats. And you don't have to pre-do it like you do with the Saddlemans. So I like all that. I like being able to just plug one in and go. However, up until this point in my life, I have never used a backrest. Well, not all of them, but a lot of my traveling friends all use backrest. I do not. I usually have a bag back there, which serves as my backrest. So I'm not saying nothing against backrest. If I'm taking off on a long trip, I have a bag back there, so that's where I push back on. Or my wife's back there, so she's kind of my backrest.
Is this all I am to you?
However, this trip, again with my knee, comfortability, riding position, and truthfully, probably not having a bag right behind me is going to play a key role in that, because again, being able to swing my knee off and on that bike, I'm concerned with being able to do that very well. Right now, I've kind of been able to get off and on the bike pretty good, but that's what the seat's for. So we're going to give that a little trial run and see how we do with that. So that's kind of the gist of that. I will have to say, sponsored, no at all. I did get in a spot one time with that custom seat. Had to pick up a Saddleman gel, just sits over top. It saved my life. Like, I literally was so miserable with that custom seat on the way back from Daytona. I didn't know what to do. I thought I was gonna have to borrow some pillows from the hotel to make it back. But last day of the rally, went to JP Cycles and grabbed that Saddleman and rode back from Florida. So it worked. It did what it wanted to do. I got back, that seat came off the bike. I never used it again. So that's kind of the story of that. So again, I will give a little more review on that seat once I get some miles on it, which hopefully will be within the next week. And then I'll get all this posted at once.
One eternity later.
Seat is hard to rock, which is not end of the world. I think every Saddleman seat comes a little harder. However, I will have to say this is at first sit before I take off riding on it. This is probably not gonna work. I'm getting pressure points right here, and my lower back is not fitting right here. And I have been told, like, you literally need to push back and break this in just like you do the seat as well. For me right now, I'm not super happy, but I'll ride it around. We'll see how it feels. I'll get a few miles on it and see if their 30-day if I have to send it back, holds up.
A few moments later.
All right, so one of the things we did before was the widest part. So coming over, look at it, 14.5 inches on the Mustang, and 16.25 on the Ultimate. Passenger was front to the front of the stops about 14.5 to right there, and then the Ultimate, it's right at 14 to this V'd section because it kind of tilts back a little bit, and it's right at 12 inches to where my backrest goes in. So that being said, lower back support up without the back selection is about, I'd say that's 6.25 there. And wow, you're at, I would say that'd be about 7.25 or 7.25 to the top of this. But now I do have this backrest for the Ultimate. But again, if you're looking at that, that's a whole nother story. They can take that up 15 inches. So just depends on what you're looking for. Passenger width at the widest point on the Ultimate, it is 14. I'd say that's 14.25. So this does look a little narrower than this, but overall seat-wise, this is actually narrower. So just a couple good looks of the seats and the differences. And I really, other than sitting on it, won't be able to tell you anything until we get some miles in it, which is probably going to be Daytona. We'll see how that goes. I'll probably have this review along with the other seats that I've kind of went back and forth on the bike all at the same time. And if you like them, put a like in the comments below, and let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks.
One eternity later.
All right. So, on the bike, I will tell you, it's definitely a different look.
Wow.
Definitely sits you down lower. Feel like I'm sitting in the bike and not on top of it. Whether that's going to be a benefit or not, I can't tell you yet. However, like I said, lower back support, definitely more if you're not using a backrest. They do make this with a backrest. I just opted out not to get that. If you do have to order it with the backrest already, you can't add it later. So if you think you might want one, order it with. I really won't have a good long trip on this thing, probably due to snow and inclement weather, until 1st of March. So we got about a month before we can really make a call on it. However, I do like the way it looks. Can't wait to kind of see how it goes. It's definitely going to be a fun little ride. I'm not sure if I'm taking the full tour. I might take it, or I might just take a little the little trunk. So again, a little different perspective. It'll sit you down into the bike a little more, which I really like. But again, this is really nice. So we'll see how it holds up. See you guys when we get there.